Hello, I'm Greg. Welcome to my channel, Midnight Oil Software, and another video in my series on how to make an educational game for Legends of Learning. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Legends of Learning SDK to save and load game state data, such as the player's score, their current progress, the maximum progress, as well as any game data that's specific to your game. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to use an example that they provide in the Unity package that I showed you how to import in the previous video. And if you remember from that previous video, we looked at their WebGL LOL demo. In this video, we're going to look at their save state demo and this example cooking game. So I've already clicked play here, and you can see there is a new game button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you can see I've got 200 coins that I can spend, and I can use it to purchase a pan. And then I'll grab some steak and I'll throw it on that pan. I'm going to stop playing and I'm going to click play again. And I want you to notice that in addition to the new game button, you're going to see the continue button is also enabled. Now if I click continue, you can see it picked up where I left off. I have 130 coins now, and I have a pan with some steak in it. So I want to show you where that data is saved. If you're running on a Windows machine, it's going to put that in the Windows registry. So it's going to be under HKey current user, software, Unity, Unity editor, and then whatever company ID and project name you put in the build settings. So if I go in here into edit, or file, build settings, and say player settings, you can see I've got Midnight Oil Software LLC Legends of Learning tutorial. So going back into that registry, you can see that's exactly where it put it in the registry, and it put it under this com.legends of learning Unity SDK. And if we double click that, you can see that it has serialized out some data for our game. So let's take a look at how that works by looking at the source code. So in the start method, they're going to initialize the Legends of Learning SDK. And this is, you can see that registry key that they put in the registry. And we're going to subscribe to some events on their SDK. And all this stuff is documented on the Legends of Learning developer website, which they will provide a link for once you get accepted into their program. And we're also going to subscribe to this event for when the save results are done. And we're going to tell the SDK that the game is ready. So after we call load state, it's going to call back and let us know, and we are going to then call game is ready. Now, most of the magic is happening in this static state button initialize method that they give us in a helper class, and you can just plug this directly into your game. That's basically what I did in my Math Munchies Mayhem game, which I'm proud to say has been accepted into the Legends of Learning platform. But let's take a look at this function. We're going to be passing in our cooking data, which I'll go ahead and take a look at that definition. Basically, it's the number of coins we have, the cost of a pan, how many pans we have, a dictionary of food that's in the various pans, and a list of food data objects which are defined down here. So let's go ahead and go into the state button initialize, take a look at that. And you can see we're passing it a new game button, a continue button, and then a callback that will get called whenever the player clicks on one of those buttons. Now, this is a generic method that we can pass in any type of data object we want, as long as it's something that can be serialized. And in our case, it's that cooking data object. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to subscribe to the click handler on the new game button. So we're always going to have a new game button, whether we've got any saved data or not. If they click on that button, we're going to turn both buttons off, and we're going to call back the callback that was supplied here with no saved data. So this is a new game. We're not returning any saved data. So after we subscribe to that handler, we're going to turn off both buttons. We're going to call load state. And then if we get any data back, then we want to subscribe to the click handler on the continue button. That click handler, if they click it, will turn off both buttons, call the callback with the data that we loaded from save state. So in this case, from the registry. Now, I do want to point out that the state has LOL specific state, which is things like the score, the current progress, and the maximum progress, as well as our game specific state. So in this case, it is the cooking data. So we're only passing back the cooking data. And we are going to tell the LoLSDK, we're going to submit our progress. So it's going to know the current score, the current progress, and the maximum progress. So let's say your game has 10 levels and the player has completed 5 of those levels and they have a score of 1,000 points. We're going to submit that progress to the LoLSDK. And then we're going to turn on that continue button. Otherwise, if there was no saved state, we're only going to enable the new game button. So going back into here, some other things we have is a save method that is going to call the save state function on the LoLSDK. And in this case, we're passing in our cooking data. And then this is the callback that we will get from Legends of Learning SDK after we try to save data, indicating whether or not it was successful or not. And there's some other things that are beyond the scope of this tutorial, like they've got a coroutine that gets set up here, a feedback method, which basically is going to get called when they do some auto saves. But that's not something we need to worry about for the purpose of this SDK. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did, do me a favor and click the like and subscribe button. And if you haven't already, do me a favor and check out my Highland Panic game. It is available on Steam as well as the Apple App Store and Google Play. I'll put links for those in the descriptions. If you have any questions or comments about anything that I've shared, you can either post a comment on this video or better yet, go over to my Discord server. You can post more detailed questions there and I can respond with some more detailed help, as well as some other users in my community might respond as well. I'll put links to that in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching and good luck on your game development journey.